Hey everyone, welcome to our first video for health statistics or probability and statistics in the health sciences. In this video, we'll start with just a case study to get your feet wet for what we're going to do and what we're going to talk about this semester. So let's jump right in. In our case study today, we're going to be talking about a study that was done in an attempt to prevent peanut allergies in young children. So in many Western countries, the rate of developing childhood peanut allergies has more than doubled in the last 10 years. These have become very, very common. Researchers wanted to find out what might help children prevent developing peanut allergies. One previous study or some previous research has suggested that early exposure to peanuts in small amounts may help desensitize children to developing this sort of allergy. So we'll look at data today from a study called the Learning Early About Peanut Allergy, or the LEAP study. This was done to really investigate that hypothesis that early exposure helps limit the development of peanut allergies later in life. And if you want to learn more about it, here's a link to the URL, really describing how this study worked. So this study enrolled 640 infants in the United Kingdom from a period going from 2006 to 2009. So children entered the study over a 3-year period. The participants who were part of this study all had diagnosed eczema, an egg allergy, or both. So the study is looking at a smaller subset of all possible children. The infants who participated in this study were assigned to one of two groups. So the peanut group was told to consume at least 6 grams of peanut protein. Well, obviously their parents, not the infants themselves, were in charge of this. But they consumed just a small amount of peanut protein every day until they turned 5. For the no peanut group, the children were told to avoid all peanut protein whatsoever. So no exposure to peanuts, peanut butter, anything of that sort until they reached the age of 5. So here's what the data looks like. So for each participant, we have their participant ID. So we have a number telling us which participant is which. The group they were in, did they consume peanuts or did they not? We have their age in months. This is the age at which they started the experiment. Notice that most of these children are around the age of 6 to 7 months when they first were either exposed or placed into the control group. We have their sex, we have their primary ethnicity, and then we have the overall outcome. Now this overall outcome is reported as either pass or fail. So then when the children turned 5, they were given what's called an oral food challenge, or OFC for short. This consisted of 5 grams of peanut protein in a single dose. The children were then monitored for any sign of an allergic reaction. So if a child passed this test, there was no reaction present. If they failed, they did experience an allergic reaction. Now, for many reasons, which we'll talk about during the semester, study sizes change. People may enter a study, people may drop out of a study. At this point, there were 530 children still enrolled in the experiment. So that's our sample that we have to work with. Overall, the vast majority of children in this study passed the oral food challenge, were able to successfully eat the peanut protein with no reaction. There were a little under 50 total children who failed that food challenge. What we might want to know is whether or not that early exposure could help explain passing or failing the oral food challenge. So now we're looking at the data split into 2 groups. The sort of orange pinky coral column represents the children who were told to avoid peanut protein. The blue teal column represents those who consumed the peanut protein from 6 months roughly to age 5. If we zero in on that fail side of the graph, the vast majority of children who failed the oral food challenge were in the peanut avoidance group. Whereas of the children who passed the oral food challenge, they were slightly more likely to be in that peanut consumption group versus the peanut avoidance group. So, which group is more likely to develop a peanut allergy? So here you have a table of the outcomes. We'll use this table to calculate some rough sample proportions or percentages in each of the two groups who developed the peanut allergy. So looking at the peanut avoidance group first, 36 children in that group developed a peanut allergy. There were 263 children total in that group. So of those children who avoided peanut protein until age 5, about 13.7% were later found to have the allergy. Now with the peanut consumption group, we had 5 children in that group develop a peanut allergy by age 5, about 267 total in that group. So a much smaller percentage, only about 2% of those children developed a peanut allergy at age 5. So is this a big enough difference? Is 13.7% versus 1.9% compelling enough or big enough for us to conclude that early peanut allergy helps reduce allergies? Maybe. This semester we'll develop some of those tools to help us better answer that question. In the next video, you'll learn a little bit about how to set up a study like this, so how we might design an experiment like the LEAP study or like any other study in the health sciences. Have a great day.